Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome to our second video wherein we're going through another book and we're introducing this beautiful book here written by Hafiz Ibn Abd al-Barr. Ibn Abd al-Barr rahimahullah passed away in 463 Hijri rahimahullah, and this was actually the same year in which Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi also passed away. In fact, Ibn Abd al-Barr was known as the Hafiz of the Maghrib, and Al-Khatib al-Baghdadi was known as the Hafiz of the Mashriq. The book's name is Al-Intiqa fi Fada'il al-A'immat al-Thalatha al-Fuqaha. It's a description of the life and virtues of Imam Malik, Muhammad ibn Idris al-Shafi'i, Imam al-Shafi'i, Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. And it also actually contains a biography on the three companions of Imam Abu Hanifa as well, who are Imam Abu Yusuf, Imam Muhammad ibn al-Hasan, and Imam Zufar as well. It also contains the biographies of some of the companions of Imam Malik and Imam al-Shafi'i rahimahullah as well, printed with the footnotes of Sheikh Abdul Fattah Abu Ghudda, printed by Darul Bashair. There is also a Darul Salam print of it as well, which is also good. And here in this very brief video, I want to go through why this book is really beneficial for you and how you will really benefit from reading this book. Firstly, the entire book is with a chain of narration. So you will find chains of narrations everywhere. Everything that Ibn Abd al-Barr narrates is with a chain of narration. There are some absolutely unique stories in there, all made more beautiful with the footnotes of Sheikh Abdul Fattah Abu Ghudda. I mean, the list just goes on the different stories that you can find in here, but I just want to quote to you a few stories that will really blow your mind and, really show you how this book is filled with fawaid and really beneficial details. On page 144, for example, there's a lovely story about a scholar, Abu Ja'far al-Tirmidhi. He doesn't want to actually go into Jannah without, he sees a dream and he says, I don't want to go into Jannah in this dream. He doesn't want to go into Jannah without his Mukhtasar al-Muzani. So the angel is telling him, دعه وادخل فقلت لا أدخل إلا بما معي. He says, I'm not going to enter unless you let me enter with my Mukhtasar al-Muzani. So then Allah Ta'ala kind of in the dream, so to speak, tells him, he tells the angel, let him go and essentially let him enter with his book. And this book is actually really good to kind of understand the criticism made of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah and the reasons behind it, and how it was actually not entirely based upon logical reasons and not actually accurate. In fact, there's Ibn Abd al-Barr rahimahullah, he actually presents 67 scholars who praised Abu Hanifa, and then Sheikh Abdul Fattah adds about 3 more in the footnotes from the companions of Abu Hanifa, and he says that this is actually tawatur. There is now a tawatur upon the praise of Abu Hanifa, and it was in reality the difference between the Ahlul Ra'i and Ahlul Hadith, which is what caused the actual ikhtilaf between Imam Abu Hanifa and some of the early muhaddithun. And we notice that later muhaddithun don't actually critique Abu Hanifa. Al-Mizzi, Al-Dhahabi, etc. Ibn Hajar defends him as well. This is because they understood that it was for polemical reasons as to why Abu Hanifa was criticized, and it wasn't entirely based upon reasons that were entirely accurate according to the muhaddithun themselves. And what's really unique about this book, again, is something that I've just mentioned now, which is the difference between Ahlul Ra'i and Ahlul Hadith. You will kind of see, for example, the book is a biography on Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Abu Hanifa. He hasn't actually included Imam Ahmad in this, even though there are loads of books, mashallah, written on the biography and the virtues of Imam Ahmad, such as Ibn al-Jawzi's book and al-Bayhaqi's book, which has not yet been printed. However, and I don't think al-Bayhaqi's book has even been found. However, this book is absolutely fantastic, and you will be able to, there's a little bit of space for you to write your notes, although you may need to use some of the pages here in this print here. It's been printed in, the latest print has come out in 2010, but I think there may be further prints of this book. I may be mistaken in assuming this to be the last print. There may be more. And the book is absolutely, it is really important for us to read about the biographies of some of our great ai like Imam Malik, Imam Shafi'i, and Imam Abu Hanifa rahimahullah. when it comes to the biography of Abu Hanifa rahimahullah, he actually narrates a number of ahadith through a scholar who wrote on the biography of Abu Hanifa by the name of Ibn Dakhil, who was actually a student of Abu Ja'far al-Uqayli, who actually in his al-Du'afa critiques Abu Hanifa. So al-Du'afa in al-Du'afa of al-Uqayli actually critiques Abu Hanifa, but his student Ibn Dakhil, who actually narrates al-Du'afa, he actually writes a full book on the biography and the virtues of Abu Hanifa. And Ibn Abd al-Barr narrates many of the narrations in the biography of Abu Hanifa through Ibn Dakhil. There's Sheikh Abdul Fattah's footnotes are absolutely priceless. They're gems. He's got discussions on the ruling of dreams. He's got discussions from Muallimi, from Sheikh Ahmed Shakir, from Sheikh Zahid al-Kawthari rahimahumullah, and the book is absolutely fantastic. He's got quotations from Sheikh Shabir Ahmed Uthmani rahimahullah, from Sheikh Zafar Ahmed Uthmani, other scholars as well. And he's got a lovely index, as he does with all of his books, mashallah, wherein you can see a detailed discussion of a lot of the contents that are found within the book. And he actually has an index here of all the names that are found within the book as well. So the book is absolutely fantastic. It's a must read for any student of hadith, or even a student of knowledge. So whether you are in not in the Dars-e-Nizami program, or even if you are in the Dars-e-Nizami program and you are in anywhere, I would say above Chaharum, Arabi Chaharum, Mishkat, Bukhari, or if you're outside of the Dars-e-Nizami program and you know Arabic, you should be reading this book. And you will really benefit from this book. There's some clear indications of this whole idea of there being a difference between the approach of the muhaddithun and fuqaha as well. Sheikh Abdul Fattah actually gathers all those who are critiqued due to them holding positions in al-ra'i. Also, along with this, there is loads of stories. For example, there's an interesting incident here about Ishaq ibn Rahway, and the fact that he married a woman simply so that he can access some of the books of Imam Shafi'i that she had. Obviously, that doesn't mean he was not going to fulfill her rights, etc. But one of the things that prompted him to marry this woman was the fact that she had a lot of the books of Imam Shafi'i, which shows the love and zeal that our scholars had for knowledge. And you will see so many stories about the sincerity of the scholars, the love of the scholars for knowledge. And there are fantastic stories in here which inshallah ta'ala will make us appreciate the value of this ilm, including the poverty that the scholars went through and the way in which they sacrificed themselves for knowledge. Loads of poems as well, and loads of gems inside here. Yahya ibn Ma'in's statements are recorded in here in some brilliant comments, such as, for example, him asking Imam Ahmad's son as to why he holds on to the reins of the horse of Imam Shafi'i, his teacher, Imam Ahmad's teacher, and then Imam Ahmad explaining to Yahya ibn Ma'in the virtues of respecting the teacher. There's also stories in here about the teacher supplicating, the student supplicating for his teacher, and how some of the scholars of the past, Imam Ahmad, etc., they would not perform a single salah except that they would supplicate for their teacher. So the book is absolutely fantastic. The print is actually in white paper, which is not a big issue. Inshallah ta'ala, a fantastic kitab. It is how many pages? It is approximately 350 pages. However, inshallah ta'ala, you will not be able to put this book down. I highly recommend it for all students. Please get yourself a copy of this book, inshallah, and you will highly benefit from this read, inshallah ta'ala. It will actually teach you a lot about the history of fiqh, and a lot about the history of hadith, and a lot about the methodologies of the muhaddithun and fuqaha. You will learn a lot about it by reading this book, inshallah ta'ala. Highly recommend it, inshallah. It's available, by the way, in the following websites from the search that I briefly made. It's available on almuttaqeen.co.uk. It's available from Ismail Books, and it's also available, if I'm not mistaken, from Zakaria Books as well. And there's a few, all of the links for purchase will be in the description to this video. Jazakumullah khairah. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that you benefit from this book after you have purchased it, inshaAllah ta'ala. Jazakumullah khairah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.